We will now make the sign of the second token of the Melchizedek priesthood.
Melchizedek is a high priest of El Elyon, and El Elyon means God Most High, which is a reference to El, not Yahweh. This is a prime example of polytheism in the Bible. Melchizedek translates to Melech Zedek. Melech means king, Zedek means righteousness, king of righteousness. So Melchizedek was the king of righteousness of Salem, and he was a high priest of El Elyon. El is the high father god in the Canaanite mythos. Now, over time, the Israelites tried to merge the identity of Yahweh and El Elyon. But as you can see through the redactions and editing, they still weren't able to cover everything. And part of the reason for that is not simply the Bible, but extant history. The deity El goes back into the archaeological annals probably 4,000 to 5,000 years. After the exile, the Israelites did their damnedest to erase their own history. They despised their own people. Moses, had he existed in the 7th, 6th century when Josiah was doing all his shenanigan reforms, he would have been murdered. The rich and powerful elites always get what they want, and what they want is to write their own history. To further prove my point that this isn't coming from the mouth of a former cult member, I'm going to give you some academic research from the book, The Origin and Character of God, Ancient Israelite Religion Through the Lens of Divinity by Theodore J. Lewis, and you will be able to find this on archive.org. The clearest evidence of the worship of an El deity from Israelite tradition is Genesis 33:20, which mentions the worship of the Shechemite deity El Elohe Yisrael. This name refers to El, the god of the patriarch Israel, rather than a redundant generic expression, God, the God of Israel. So this is an actual name. El is God, the God of Israel, the patriarch of Israel, which would be Jacob. This section is about Melchizedek and El Elyon. The composite title of the deity known as El Elyon, an alternative translation being God the Most High, is used only in Genesis 14 and Psalm 78. In the former, we read of Melchizedek, king of Salem, who was also priest of El Elyon. Melchizedek blesses Abram with the following blessing. Blessed be Abram to El Elyon, creator of heaven and earth. Blessed be Elyon, who has delivered your enemies into your hand. The supremacy of El Elyon is emphasized by attributing to him the title of the creator of heaven and earth, a variant of which was well known in the West Semitic environs of the late Bronze and Iron Ages. And I explained to you before that Kene, that is also used with Asherah as the creatrix of all living things. Okay, a variant of which was well known in the West Semitic environs of the late Bronze and Iron Ages. See the earlier discussion in the El Nersha myth. Okay, we're not reading that. When he slew them, they sought him. They represented and sought El earnestly. They remembered that God, Elohim, was their rock, El Elyon, their redeemer. The important takeaway is the Bible is an inverted history. The things they did not like, they simply erased, rewrote new stories to fill in the gaps. There's nothing sacred about that. It's governments doing what governments do best. Lying. And they use the sacred to fool the masses. And through that revisionist history, women of all people were most heavily affected. Not only did they separate us from the divine, they separated us from the divine feminine as well. And whether or not you believe in magic does not matter. This is all symbolic. The video that my friend showed about that Mormon ritual is symbolic of how they have taken women's power. They expect them to do the work, to do the heavy lifting, and then they reap the benefits. If you enjoyed this video, I am advocating for several families, but this video today is for this little darling Dyana. She is 3 years old, and soon she's going to be a big sister, and we can help her reach safety with her mother, who is pregnant, and her father if we reach this very small goal soon. If you can't gift, that is understandable. You can go to her page and watch the last 3 videos all the way through because engagement is important. Repost, share, add those stories. Even if you get barely any views, it drives traffic to her page. And that's where we're going to get more contributions for her so she can get to safety. Thank you guys.